Awbarre is a town in eastern Ethiopia, located in the Fafa zone of the Somali region, near the Ethio-Somali border. It's located at 75 kilometers northeast of Jijjiga town. It is the administrative center of Awbarre district. Shedder village is in the Awbarre district. Two refugee camps lie in this district of the Ethiopian Somali region, namely Awbarre refugee camp and Shedder refugee camp. The Awbarre refugee camp is located at 705 kilometers from Addis Ababa and 75 kilometers from Jijjiga. The camp was established in July of 2007 with the first arrivals of refugees from Somalia at the time. Currently, Awbarre refugee camp holds almost 13,316 individual refugees or 2,134 households, of which 53% are females and 47% are males. Geographically, the Shedder refugee camp is located at 685 kilometers from Addis Ababa and 55 kilometers in the northeastern part of the Somali regional capital city of Jijjiga under the Fafa zone. The camp came into existence in May after the Awbarre camp finally reached to full capacity with the newly arrived refugees. In order to sustain the assistance and protection provided to Somali refugees fleeing their country of origin due to the renewed and ongoing violence. Shedder refugee camp is home to some 12,290 individuals or 2,580 households, of which 53.8% are women and 46.2% are men. The two camps were established following the renewed violence and hostility in South and Central Somalia. These conflicts have resulted in the displacement and mass influx of Somali refugees into Ethiopia, particularly in the Somali region's Kebrabaya district. The first arrivals were registered in Kebrabaya and later were relocated to Awbarre district to accommodate these refugees displaced by the war. According to the UNHCR database, there are approximately 25,600 Somali refugees living in temporary shelters at Awbarre and Shedder refugee camps. Among the biggest challenges and one of the most desired needs for these refugees is shelter.
Shelter is one of the main unmet protection needs that are in need of to be addressed. 92% of the shelter we have in the context of Shedder refugee camp are temporary structures that do not give the required protection, privacy, and it serves as per the refugee concerns raised in a number of meetings. It serves as a breeding ground for insects like cockroaches, rats, and it's an environment that's unhygienic for refugees to clean. During the daylight, refugees do complain that it's very hot. In the night, it's also very cold.
Actually, we do have a number of unmet needs of refugees. From this, shelter is one of our issues.
Almost all, majority of the shelter are temporary. So to change this shelter is very vital, and even compared to other needs, shelter is the number one, even the sensitive gap is in the camp.
Housing in these refugee camps are mainly one kind of a shelter. These houses are inadequately made with tree branches extracted from the refugees surrounding local areas, useless curtains, plastic sheets provided by the UN Refugee Agency, and worn-out clothes stitched and tied together.
So we know that our refugees were living in shelters which is not well constructed. They are using the locally available materials, the woods, the cut trees. It was not such a permanent shelter, we can say.
waxaan wax ka sheegi rabaa ama inaan ka hadla aan jecelahay guryaha ay hay'adda ay nagu caawinaysa qaxootiga shaadheer guryaha la siiyey aad iyo aad ayay ugu faraxsan yihiin haddana dhibaatooyin badan oo naga haysta xagga guryaha bacaha ama dalay iyo waxyaabo badanaa lagu dhisi jiray markii uu dab kaco dabaylo jiro dab kaco aad ayaa loogu baabi'i jiray dad badanaa nooga baaba'ay guryihii bacaha ahaa haddana alxamdulilah guryihii aad baa ugu raysanay markay sii noo timi guryihii dhismaha ayna siiyeen aan dhisana aad iyo aad kabaashkii aan ka raysanay oo waxaan ka raysanay bacihii toltolkii wixii oo dhan aad baa looga raystay.
These shelters, which most of the refugees live in, are lacking both quality and duration to withstand the extreme weather conditions of the local environment.
dhibaato badan baa naga haysata xagga guriga bishii tobnaad 2014 bishii tobnaad ayaan dhismahan bilaabay markii aan bilaabayna kharashkii uu iga go'ay wax aliyaale waxaan ku dhisay waan la ah ilaa iyo hadda kadib xitaa alla aan helo oo dad iga caawiyaana waxa weeye ma wax hagaagaya ma waa wax mar walba karbaashkii cadaanayo oo go'ayo dabayshu jarjarayso haddana tacab hor liya dhar u baahan sanadahaygan xitaa wixii dhar ku jiray aan jeexjeexnaa ama marka qaarkood dharkaan xidhayna markaan kuleylka ka yaabno madaxa ugu dhufto ayaanu markaa karbaash ka dhiganaa waxaan ka codsanaynaa hay'adaha ilaalinta deegaanka ku hawlan inay guri aan guryahan kaga maarno inay noo dhisaan yaan codsanaynaa iminka hadda waxaa galay intaas oo kun oo geed oo saraba hadda haddii leban lanoo sameeyo oo jingad iyo wax lanoogu sameeyo way baaqanaysaa dhir badan baa badbaadaysa saa la adligeed hay-adaha unbaa ka hortegi kara annaguna dad miyiga u baxaya manihin dadkii qof baa la imanaya qofka hadduu suuq waayo oo iminka guryahan la dhiso geedka wuu baaqanaya oo qofkii suuq u waaya geedii.
These kinds of houses do not properly protect refugees from sun heat, wind, rain, and cold during winter.
haddaba intii aan helin dhismahan aadka u qurux badan ma iga caawiyeen hay-addan waxaan ku noolaa horta marka hore waxay ahayd taandhahay turtisay taandhadii way googooday waxaan isla samay buulkiina isaguna waxaan ku qalnay dhibaatooyin fara badan oo ay ka mid yihiin iyagoo xayawaankii dayactirkiisii faraha badnaa oo markasta kharash naga gelaya cabsida carruurtaan uga qabnay gubitaankii nadaafad darro samboor dhas ka seexan la'aan roobkii hal jeer nagu soo daayay waxyaaba aad sabab fara badan baan ku qabnay
gurigan markii iga horreeyay boolkaan gelaya hawl badan iyo dhib badan buu lahaa kulayl buu lahaa oo qashin buu lahaa oo huguf buu lahaa oo balaanbar buu lahaa kulayl saay oo mar walba ammaan geli karin uu lahaa dabayl iyo dhaxan inta buu lahaa
ciddii hadda gurigaan oo kale aan ku jirin waa lagu rafaad qabaa maalin walba dameer xun baa ku ag taagan dhirtii meella dhirtiiyo geedkii baa laga dhammaynahayaa oo waddankii waa la xaalufinayaa meelna ilaahay magantiisa iyo magan rasuul baa tihiine waxa kan la yidhahda wax sii raagahaya bacda iyo karbaashka iyo sarabka oodaahoo la taagahayo wuxuba isku 2 sano wallaahi xay u gaari mahayaan wallaahi baan war ma been ma sheegaya qaxootiga tiina yaa haddaan been sheego joog dhaha haa 2 sano ma gaarahayo 2.
Despite all these ills, these houses require semi-annual maintenance, where mostly women and girls other responsible family members to do the maintenance work. To maintain one single house fully, it costs around 2,000 to 3,000 Ethiopian birr, where the frequency of maintenance is 6 months to 1 year. The average lifespan of these shelters is about 2 to 3 years.
مريها سانو نطلع إحدى كبعد وحنا صارنا بعضنا سيبنا يوصارنا مريها نوان نطلع وحبل جايا مريه يحتاجي دي قبل فرنا ينان فرنا إنا نطلع ونقوليه سارو وقد نقدر وقدنا سببت وحوي نقول هدي بعد سارو بعدي أن مرة لقى حكين عدعدي بعونيسة إسلام مركبة ويبقوقويسة عدعدي بديليسة marka dantu waxaan u kala fiirsaa inaan u tolo mariyaha iyaga inaan u tolo oo saaro dharkii uga ka xijino cadceeda ka xijino
loodo ma baratay ixtiraam salaam kale ma qad dadku xubisay 9 bilo hadda ma dirbaashkii laga rogo doonay markii aan dhisayna 15 kun oo burbay kala hadda ma qadana wuxuu rabaa in karbaashka laga bedelo bixii hore laga bedelo hoosta ku ilaaga xilay laga bedelo dactarka u baahan
It's traditional shelter has a low protection feature. It can be, it can be looted anywhere. It can be, tear up from any place, and then it can be looted there. So it is easily being, accessible to burglaries. It needs also some frequent maintenance. And it normally, is spent at 2,000 to 3,000 per each maintenance. When you compare the durable shelter being constructed for the last 3 years, it is totally different, and the refugees has really told us the significant and contribution to this low shelter house construction, and the condition of living is totally low, more favorable compared to the traditional one.
Based on Save the Environment's experience and successes of pilot shelter construction in 2013 and 14, C, or Save the Environment, aiming to address extermination of the forest by the refugees for shelter construction, and UNHCR, dealing with the refugee shelter status and improve the lives of these refugees by improving their houses, has come into mutual partnership again in 2015 and planned the construction of 100 better shelters in the 2 camps. The project is funded by the UN Refugee Agency and is monitored by ARRA. These shelters are made of stones, bricks and corrugated iron sheets and offer better protection of women, children, the elderly and the disabled from extreme weather conditions. These shelters also offer enhanced household sanitation, better ventilation, require less maintenance, saves a lot of effort from women and younger girls, and are environmentally friendly.
The kind of shelter its environment is constructing is somewhat environmentally friendly because they did not use natural resources. That means they didn't cut trees. They just use cement, stones, concrete, and.
waxa kan la yiraahdo qaxootigaas Soomaaliyeed la siman baanahay hadda waa ku fiican roob hadii yimaado ma walwalo cadceedo haday timaado karbaashkii baa dhamaaday iyo kabadii baa dhamaatay baa awal oran jiray sheekh oo la oran jiray hadda hawshaas nama agtaal waa ka fiicanahay oo waa ka biskoonay oo waa ka raysay
naga caawisay ismahan aad ka qiimaha badan la dhisanay tafaa'iido badan ma ku qabnaa namana kulanno cayayaankii faraha badnaa roobkii daruurimeynayay deetaankii dayactirkii markasta kharashka naga qaadanayay dhaqaalaha iyo surtii isagana waan khanasanay dawladana waxaan aaminsanahay qorshayaashan dhismuhu uu sii hirgalo وبقولك سيديت كدسمة وكذا كذا قالوا إن حرام كان قحطين أو برا إن ديجان كانوا يسعرانيو ونقول نقول يصير إن مركا درتي إن نبات كشوا.
In order to decrease the dependency syndrome to assistance among refugee community and to strengthen a sense of ownership, a highly recommended cost-sharing practice was put in place. Refugee beneficiaries were encouraged to contribute some of the expenses incurred in the construction of their shelters.
Previously, the majority of them they didn't have a good shelter, so even they are suffered a lot, especially during the rainy season, even the winter. So, having this permanent structure, it is, I think, it is very important for them.
Save the Environment Ethiopia has been engaged in the construction of these shelters since the start of 2015. As of September this year, with the financial help of the UNHCR and the coordination of ARRA, we have managed the completion of 84 resilient houses, while the construction of the remaining 16 houses are in progress. From the years 2013 to 2014, a total of 97 improved houses were constructed for the refugee households of Sheder and Aubare. In total, 667 individuals were benefited. After the completion of the remaining 16 houses, at the end of this year, the total individuals who are expected to benefit from this project in 2015 are 731 refugees.
Even the beneficiaries, we checked even with the UNHCR during field investigation, field visit, they are very happy. So even the work is very successful. There is no clear gap observed so far. So I think even the performance for the coming year is nice because we have, I think, the environment have the necessary skill and experience.
There is still a need for shelter when compared with the number of shelters constructed by Save the Environment and the population living in the refugee camps. During the implementation of this shelter construction project, the lessons learned includes that a large percentage of refugees who are interested in these shelters are lacking and incapable of contributing for their shelters to be improved. One of such people is Safi Mohammed. Safi Mohammed has come to Sheder refugee camp in August of 2008. Living in Zone 1, Block 30 of House Number 2, she was one of the first households to be resettled in the camp of Sheder. And she shares her story with us at a time when she was stitching a worn-out clothes to cover her house for maintenance.
waxa weeye guriyaha aan ahayn bulkeetiga dadka loo dhisay ma aan dhisan mana dhisan karno waxaan wali deganahay guriga bacda baan deganahay ee buushka guriyaha kala dhisteen anagu ma dhisan karno oo dad iska masaakiin oo tabar yar baanuna marka sida laaydigeed ayaa nagu kalifaysa inaan u tollo dadku u tollo oo cadceed u fariisano oo maxaan ku raada xijaabiyadayadii iyo funaanadii iyo dharkii la xiranayay aan ku tollo oo gurigii saarsano si gurigii mar qaba u noqdo mar maalintii qaba u noqdo habeenkiina ودوكس ونقضى إنه عرسيو عند حنطة أنا تنعدد إنه عرسيو.
Amina Sharif Ali has been in our refugee camp. Mama Amina also shares a similar story with Safi Mohammed. She is the mother of 6 children without a father, and she indicates that she has no extra source of money other than the assistance she gets from UNHCR and its partners, and therefore unable to contribute for her shelter to be improved.
Single mother hooyo oo daashay xaawa ka daashay biyo ku daashay dharmayr ku daashay rafaad u dhamaadayba inna hay'adda waxaan ka codsanaynaa samafalka hay'adda waxaan ka codsanaynaa inay nacaawiyaan guryaha naga caawiyaan oo xoogga naga caawiyaan oo macnaha qalabka naga caawiyaan oo sidaan nahay idinkiiba hay'adii baad ka mid tihiin sidaan nahay hoosna loo dayaano hay'adda ka codsanaynaa.
There are thousands of other refugees who also share the same stories with Mama Amina and Safi Muhammad, who would be more than happy for an assistance and for the improvement of their shelters.
The shelter environment is constructing is somewhat permanent, and it is well constructed and it is acceptable by the refugees, even if it is a very limited number. There is a need still. There is a big need of this shelter construction from the refugee side, and so we recommend sea environment to construct a number of shelters for the refugees because the demand is high. The currently constructed shelters are very few in number.
The need is clear. You see, compared to the refugee number and the permanent structure that we have up to this time, it is incomparable. So the gap is there, the need is there. So as far as you see the budget constraint is resolved, it is the number one priority for us. So it is very important.
People there who are constructing the shelter now is the selected one, but there are some economically poor refugees. Just so they need some kind of help. If it is constructed by sea environment, the agency itself, it will be more convenient for them. They are very elderly, some of them are very elderly, and some of them are disabled people. So there are such kind of people who cannot able to build by themselves.
In 2015, the project has included 4 economically poor households who are totally unable to contribute to the construction of their houses. These households are of the most vulnerable in the 2 camps and were jointly selected by a team from the Refugee Central Committee, UNHCR, Save the Environment, and the Administration for Refugee and Returnee Affairs. All the construction expenses will be covered by Save the Environment Ethiopia and will right away hand over to the beneficiaries, neat and clean.
Otherwise, the contribution from the refugee side is very interesting. We provide the materials so that they construct the shelter. We want such kind of organization to come and help us, our refugees. So I want to explain my big support to this environment. And if there are any humanitarian organizations who can help this agency, it will be very convenient and acceptable.
So we are very much encouraging, and I have to thank the Ethiopian government for hosting Somali refugees in the context of Shaga, and Save the Environment for their role in improving these refugee shelters in partnership with UNHCR. And I also wish to thank international community for their generosity and contribution in regard to refugee shelters. And thank you for coming.